Oh,
Good people.
hey. How y'all doing?
How y'all doing this evening?
Man, almost didn't see you there.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, you either, man.
It's good,
How's it
Lavis.
going? It is, Al.
You know,
Nice day.
we have arrived.
So let's get it poppin'.
You know, it's after dark. It's Thursday.
Yes.
And whoa, what a glorious
Favorite day
Thursday
of
it is.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. What's your shirt say? I have arrived. Your shirt's arrived too, huh?
Yes, it has.
I have
I
spoken.
have spoken. No, you good, man. You good. What's good, y'all, man? Look, how you feeling? How your mama feeling? It's Thursday.
Hey.
Purple man emojis in the chat one time. Let's see it.
What they
We are in here.
Purple man.
Know y'all
purple
been
hearts.
waiting on it. I know you've been waiting.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
What a week. What a week indeed. Oh no, it's too soon for listen. Too soon for the sauce. Maybe later on. Maybe.
Oh yeah.
Maybe later on. It's too soon. Too soon.
I promise to taper the sauce today.
You can't taper the sauce. Cause if you ain't got the sauce, then that's your loss.
Son?
There. Early. We gonna get that out the way. What it do though? It's your boy Al. It's your boy Lavis. We in here. It's after dark Thursday night. You know what it do. Dinner Nerds Live. Appreciate y'all hanging with us. Got a nice little set of topics to get into tonight. I know what y'all waiting for though. I know what y'all thinking. And I'm gonna tell you right now, spoiler alert, there will be no raging about the Star Wars court case drama. I'm not gonna go there. We will discuss it, but I'm vibing tonight. We in a good place. I'm good. The homie's good. But
you won't blow up any buildings tonight.
No buildings will blow up. There will be no snapping on Kathleen Kennedy at all. We're not going to go there, man. Matter of fact, we won't even get into the Star Wars stuff right now because I feel like the more pertinent information, the more pertinent news of the day would be that a certain movie that I, for one, am very excited to see, that would be Thor Love and Thunder, has officially wrapped.
Yes.
That movie is done. And
8
I don't know
months out,
I don't know if y'all happen to see the Twitter posts, but Chris Hemsworth, man, that man is jacked.
Yes.
Like straight up. It don't make
swole on swole.
Swole on swole on swole. Now,
muscles on muscles.
That tells me a couple of things. Number one, that it's going to be epic watching that man transform from Fat Thor back into the Thor that we all knew prior to Endgame. That's going to be some interesting stuff, man. Straight up.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait. I'm really excited to see what they do, especially with that reveal of the costume, like what you saw with them jeans, that shirt, and he's holding the jacket.
Yeah, man.
We're going to be getting a nice spin on a 1980s version of Eric Masters, it looks like.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, there's a lot of implications in that costume because that could also lead to the answer the question of what hammer he'll probably have in that movie.
No doubt.
I mean, it just got, I don't know, it's got my mind boggled because I feel like Disney and Marvel are doing this again, you know. And then a whole bunch of other stuff is happening that they ain't talked about because what they have leaked about Thor and Love and Thunder so far, they've only focused on things like, you know, small things about Gore the God Butcher. We know we got Russell Crowe, who's going to be in there playing the Greek version of Zeus. We know Jane Foster's going to be in there. She's going to get a version of the hammer, and they have a lightweight explainer on that. So it's like, we know he already's got Stormbreaker from the Endgame. So if you're going to give Thor a new hammer and then Jane Foster's going to get the old hammer, I don't really feel like he's going to dual wield. I feel like you give us the Trinity and hopefully maybe you give Beta Ray Bill the Stormbreaker like he's supposed to have. And you play that off by making him look like the Eric Masters version and it being Thor. So that puts two of them together and that can be Thor Core. We can get our first little look at Thor Core from Thor Love and Thunder. We know that Chris Hemsworth, he's going to come back and he's going to play, he's going to keep playing Thor. So it's not like we're going to worry about Gore the God Butcher getting the upper hand on him in that respect, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna get his ass handed to him a couple times before he gets it right, which is probably why it facilitates them getting Jane Foster, and it would make even better sense for Beta Ray Bill to be in this movie too, because we got a little teaser of him in Ragnarok, got to see his little head sticking out the side of that building,
Yep.
so that we know he's canon. And they said they wanted to put him in the movie where they can do him justice. What other movie do you put him in where you do that justice to, where he's threatened also by being a little demigod of sorts against Gore the God Butcher? So, like, that movie sounds like it's going to be completely crazy. And the little explainer that they have for Jane Foster possibly getting the version of the hammer is, of course, they're there at New Asgard, and that location is where Hela destroyed the previous Mjolnir. So
Mm-hmm.
with that, and then Cap went back and he returned that the original hammer in the first place, so things can go happen like they're supposed to happen. And in this one, it's been about a couple years after we see them leave from Endgame, because it's supposed to
Right.
happen. This is supposed to take place after the Multiverse of Madness and No Way Home and all that stuff. So that's why he's all jacked up. A couple years from now, he better not be Fat Thor anymore. But apparently they've built out New Asgard. That's there's a leaked scene where they're doing the stage play in the theater,
Okay. Okay.
and they're reenacting where Hela destroyed the hammer, and they're probably going to spin that into the scene that they also have where you can see Jane Foster. She's kind of sitting over there by like a little well or whatever. And in this particular area, they built it out and made like a shrine of sorts to the broken pieces of Mjolnir. So it's
Okay.
speculated that she'll probably touch it, and because it has the old incantation that Odin already put on it about whosoever is worthy is able to wield the hammer, they're probably going to spin that into where she touches it. She's worthy, and because of that incantation, it kind of pulls itself back together and reforges the hammer. So, and therefore she becomes Jane Foster. People are wondering if they're going to make her like blonde or anything like that. Probably not. It seems more feasible that they would just keep Jane Foster looking how she looks and just beef her up,
Right.
because they really had the old Jane Foster in the Mighty Thor blonde, because it was like a secret thing. They didn't want to reveal to some of the readers that
Mm.
was Jane Foster in
Right.
the
Right.
first place. It was kind of played into also the storyline where it was to her secret identity of sorts. So I doubt that they'll make her blonde. But it's still kind of speculated on what costume. Like, they haven't even showed her in costume yet. So it's like things like that that we haven't seen yet makes me feel like they're just giving you the okey doke, making you look at this. Oh, look at how Thor looks. His costume is dope. And look at how we got Jane Foster in here, but we ain't seen nothing that alludes to some of the cosmic stuff that they're going in. They are probably going to have the two goats looking things that he has, and it's like a chariot of sorts.
Right.
They do have a name which does escape me at the moment. But it's two of them. They have their names like Thornscore or something like that. It's
Okay.
some weird Asgardian names. But they could possibly include that instead of having him use the Bifrost and stuff all the time, because it was kind of like an open chariot.
Yeah.
And what else would be cooler than to watch Thor travel through space in an open chariot that's being drugged by two goat-looking things? You
I
know what I'm
can
saying? That would be
see it
kind of hot.
already. This
You
was
know what I'm saying? So, hopefully the capacity in which they have Russell Crowe in that movie will be like, I want to see him on some Superman type shit. Like when he was
okay.
in Man of Steel, giving out tickets, handing people, like, I want to see him do something like that all over again. Even though my man's looking like Santa Claus nowadays. There you go, Stormy. Some points to Stormy. Tooth
There you go.
Gnashers is definitely one of them. I think it's Tooth Grinder and Tooth Gnasher. They have different names. Uh, but yes, that is definitely it. But yeah, they're probably not gonna go. Also, when it comes to Jane Foster, I doubt they're gonna go with the cancer arc, because there's really actually no need, because it's the MCU version. So
Right.
they
Okay.
never mentioned her having cancer. They really shouldn't. I don't think they should go that route. It's like it would explain why she hasn't been around. So it's not to say that they can't do it or they won't entirely do it. I just don't see no real reason, because they didn't leave off with her having any kind of health issues. But again, he could reunite with Jane Foster, find out that she's been in the hospital this entire time and wanted to bring her to New Asgard. She
Mm-hmm.
sees everything that's happened. She's noticed that there's like a shrine to the broken Mjolnir. She sits down by it, touches it, and there is a leaked scene that you can see her being like hoisted up in the air, and they make her look like she's being possessed, and it's right outside of that theater as well. So they could use the stage play to bring up the fact that it has a spell on it, and then she's worthy because she just probably wants to do something nice for the people before she dies of cancer or something like that. They could possibly do that. It didn't look like she was frail in any of those like leaks that they had of her. All the leaks we really got of her mostly is like she's super buff. So it just kind of just doesn't really play that she has cancer at all. But again, the okie doke. They could probably lean into that within the first few minutes. You don't need to linger on that at all with the fact that you just need to reintroduce the character in the first place. That's the best way to kind of do it. She's in the hospital, bang, bong, boom, and you get Jane Foster. I'm really more curious to see if, again, they're going to bring in somebody like Beta Ray Bill. Plenty of space in order for you to be able to do that. And like I said, I want to see how they're going to do Gore. I don't know how there's no leaks or anything on how they're making him look in the comics. He's just like this white symbiotic looking type creature. He looks like Voldemort a little bit in the face.
Gotcha.
And he's got that ethereal sword that's kind of like Soul Reaver. I don't know if any of you guys ever played Soul Reaver or Legacy of Kain, but he's got like a ethereal black sword that he's going around killing other gods with. So I really want to see what they make him look like, and hopefully they don't make it look too CGI. There are supposed to be some ties in from Loki to Love and Thunder. So it'll be interesting to see how they just decide to do that with Loki coming so soon, and we got to wait another 8 months or so for Love and Thunder to come out. So we're going to see some of those Easter eggs as soon as next week. But how do you feel about this, about all that info I just dropped on you about Thor: Love and Thunder? Does that make you a little more excited? Or
I don't know if I could get any more excited, man. Like I'm already hyped for this movie. Like just simply because I love the way that they kind of finally found Thor his own lane. You know what I'm saying? Like for the first two movies, it was like you kind of trying to figure out where Thor was going to fit into the MCU. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of it wasn't that he was a bad Thor. I think it was just Chris Hemsworth trying to find his lane a little bit. But once you get to Ragnarok, it's like, okay, this I can get with this Thor. Like this is what's up. And then of course, once we get to Endgame and my man is Fat Thor and asking if they were here about the cable. Man, look, I like that kind of wacky type stuff like that. I definitely am down with, him and Jane Foster and that whole arc. I want to see where that goes. I want to see Gore the God Butcher actually get out here and butcher some gods. So please, Taika, please make sure. I know it's Disney. I know it's Marvel. I know y'all can't go too hard, but like, I need to believe that that Gore the God Butcher is out here for real, and that's a real threat.
God Butcher.
I need to see that. I definitely am interested in seeing how this ties in, or if there's any ties into it with Loki, because I think this is where we start to get to the point where maybe, just maybe, the MCU finds its footing in this new phase. I think these shows, you know what I'm saying, kind of laid a real basic foundation. But now that we start to talk movies, and now that we get into Loki, and now that we know that we're starting to interweave some of this stuff, like that's where I'm at with it. Like I can't wait for that. But I do got to bring up this picture though, because we got to talk about this for a hot second. We got to talk about it, man. Because I'm just, look. My guy, Chris Hemsworth, looking like he about ready to go get in the World's Strongest Man competition. Like this dude got WrestleMania coming up, which is very interesting because I don't know how I slept on this, but you just put me up on this right before we went live that my man is going to be playing Hulk Hogan in a movie.
Yeah.
What?
Right after he's finished, well, now that he's wrapped up, it'll probably start here soon. But yeah, he's supposed to be in a Hulk Hogan movie that they're putting together.
Man, look, first of all, that's the perfect casting for one Terry Bollea, a.k.a. Hulk Hogan. That is perfect. And now it makes sense because I'm like, this dude jacked up like for real. And that makes sense. Now I'm like, okay, because look, Thor wasn't no punk. Thor was out there. Thor was out there. But it's like, nah, this right here, I'm like, man, talk about P90X. Like, my guy is like not playing. He on all vegan. Exactly. That part right there. But there's one question that we have to ask. If he is going to be Hulk Hogan in the Hulk Hogan biopic or whatever it's going to be, especially though if it's a Hulk Hogan biopic, who is playing Booker T?
Booker T.
Because somebody got to do that scene where my man is like, Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, Nerdvenger.
Mm-hmm.
I need to see that. I need to see that.
It's got to happen.
I need and look. So let's do this real quick in the chat. Let us know who should play Booker T if we get this Hulk Hogan biopic. Who should be the one to drop that line in the movie? Because it's got to be in the movie. You can't do a Hulk Hogan biopic without touching on the Hulk Hogan Booker T situation. That is wrestling. That is classic wrestling. That is the stuff of legend. And if you don't know what we're talking about, just go YouTube Hulk Hogan Booker T, and that's all you need to know.
That's all you need
to
know.
You will understand once you've seen it.
Yes, you definitely will. But to me, I guess while we wait for them to pop in who they think could play Booker T, my number one off the top was the homie Idris Elba. I could totally see Idris Elba getting a little jacked up and playing him and hitting us with that line. That would be hilarious. Now, this person ain't tall enough, and he might be a tad bit older, but I would go with Wesley Snipes. Only because Wesley I can see Wes kind of like capturing that Booker T vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like, Wesley Snipes gives off Booker T vibes because I think of Simon Phoenix from Demolition Man. Kind of in the same vein. Not as wacky. Booker T wasn't that wacky. Yeah. Later on he was with that five time. Y'all know what's up. Y'all, my wrestling people know what's up. Spinneroonie. Yeah, man. But I'm just saying. I see Leonard Etuk say Terry Crews. That's another good one. But are you gonna be able to put Terry Crews in some braids though? I can't.
Like I can't see Terry Crews in the braids, man. I just couldn't. His chest. No. That's a little.
We coming for you, Nerdvenger.
You just start doing it. Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know about that one. I don't know.
I did see, and I can see if maybe I can find his name. But they said the dude who played M'Baku.
Oh, okay. That might work. That might work. I can see that. Yeah,
man. What's his name? Winston Duke.
Yeah, unfortunately, OG fan, I don't know if that's a joke, but like Tommy Lister ain't playing nobody. If he come back and he on screen, I got questions. Because didn't we lose the homie? Like we lost the homie not too long ago.
Yeah, like that's gonna be real questionable. Plus, I don't know. I think he a little overshot.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, that would still be like if they were making it like a Hulk Hogan parody though.
Then there you go. Then that would work.
Yeah. Well, I guess if we're gonna go in the archives like that and pick up Tommy Lister, then we got to bring up Michael Clark Duncan. And
no, right?
Just because.
No, man. Like you know who he could play. Honestly, look, if you want to go way back in the wrestling archives, he could be Junkyard Dog.
Definitely,
he could play the Junkyard Dog. I could definitely see that too. I could definitely see that. But yeah, man, it looks like Chris is in tip-top shape. It looks like Thor Love and Thunder is going to be a dope-ass movie. Cannot wait. Cannot wait to see how Loki ties into that. And the funny thing about that is we don't have very much longer to wait for Loki because that is next week.
Next week.
People. Yes. And according to some of the news that's dropping right now, I'm starting to kind of get really, not that I wasn't hyped, but I'm starting to get really hype about Loki, man. Because I'm hearing the head writer, Michael Waldron, got some pretty live influences for Loki, man. My man
Oh yeah.
said Inglorious Bastards, Before Sunrise, and Catch Me If You Can were influences for Loki. Kind of, speaking on the whole dialogue exchanges in those movies. And I don't know if you've seen, I don't know if y'all have seen Inglorious Bastards and Catch Me If You Can, but those are two of my favorite movies to throw on when I don't have nothing else to watch. Like those movies.
Catch Me If You Can.
Catch Me If You Can is a dope. I love that movie. Inglorious Bastards is just one of those movies that, like, if it's on TV, I can't even change it. Like, I'm just watching it, even when it's on regular TV and it cut out all the good stuff. It's a dope movie, and it's like, if that's where some of the interplay and some of the interaction is gonna go, like especially with Loki, when you got Hiddleston and Owen Wilson, like that's gonna be crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're comparing this to all kind of stuff, right? Like some different vibes in here.
Comparisons.
Speak on it.
Yeah, one of the comparisons that they make directly is they say that it has Owen Wilson and Tom Hiddleston's characters. They have a very 48 hours chemistry. They say they compare it to 48 hours between Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy, and I find that kind of interesting because, like, obviously Tom Hiddleston would be more of the Eddie Murphy in 48 hours, and then you got Owen Wilson coming through as Nick Nolte. But that kind of also means that, there's a point in which they fight.
Right.
So it'd be kind of interesting to see if they actually like throw blows at some kind of point, and that's where it has to lead for Mobius to actually gain the trust of Loki, because Owen Wilson came out as saying that there's an interesting dynamic in him. They play in that way in order to play this kind of a chess game of Mobius gaining the trust in the first place. So I think it's going to be interesting for that to even be one of the comparisons that they're making, because I love 48 Hours and another 48 Hours. Like, man, it's a movie I grew up.
I need to go back. I've seen those, but I got to go back and watch them. I honestly have not seen those in so long. I got to go back and really soak that up. Really got to soak that up.
Yeah, you definitely got to do that for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
You got to do that for sure. But yeah, I mean, they say that they actually, like, Tom Hiddleston says that it's like the most adept versions or adept story that they have made ever. Like, it honors the story of Loki.
Yeah.
Through and through. And apparently we're going to get to see a lot of different versions of Loki. So they have the variant version that we're going to get to know from at the end of Endgame, getting the Tesseract. And if you kind of notice in some of the leaks that they have, or at least some of the trailers, you get to see Loki like he's walking through with the Tesseract as he's walking through the TVA. So it's kind of like you get to see him kind of be taken out of his element, because he just got his ass handed to him by the Hulk.
Yep.
The Avengers, everybody. And then he got to escape to wherever he got pulled into with the TVA. Who knows what kind of things he's done before they caught up with him. So however they get him there, he's a complete awe before they start stripping him down, making him sign and say that everything he's ever said, and shipping him over to Mobius in the first place. But you get to watch the variant version of Loki go through, and you get to see the president version of Loki. I'm guessing that the little star, celestial cosmic area that it looks like they're on Vormir or whatever, that we're thinking it could be Black Widow, is probably the female version of Loki. And so you get to go around and see the different versions of him, and I guess how maybe they messed up the timeline from him getting the Tesseract is what the synopsis seems to be about.
Right.
And again, another thing, apparently it's supposed to be good enough. And this is kind of what I wanted to get into a little bit about the show, besides the fact that we already know a lot of the stuff that we're going to be getting in it. The curious thing to me is, since before the show even wrapped, they've been talking that there's going to be a season 2. It's heavily speculated, spoken about. It's lightweight touched by even Feige himself, but everybody's doing the misdirect. Everybody's hitting everybody with the okey doke. And even Tom Hiddleston came out as saying that, and I'm paraphrasing, but he even came out saying, is, you never know what the future of the show is going to be for him, because he's actually they've killed him off, they've pretty much arrested him, threw him in jail types. Like, he said goodbye to the character in so many different ways that you never know in which direction that you can go. And
Right.
just the quote and the way that it's phrased to me just seems like another one of those misdirects. It seems like
Mm-hmm.
another one of those I can't really say what I'm going to say, because they even asked Anthony Mackie the same question about Falcon and Winter Soldier. Is it going to be a season 2? Do you know the future of your character? And they're like, all I know is that I'm doing the Disney Plus show, and we never know what Marvel's going to do. He said that damn near the same exact thing that Tom Hiddleston said. And then all of a sudden at the end of the show, we get, boom, Captain America 4. He's going to be in it.
Right.
And obviously that's planned. So who's to say that Tom Hiddleston's saying the same thing? And then at the end of that, bam, they leave it open to where they're going to obviously do a season 2, and then they confirm it at the end of Loki. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Right.
not buying it. I think if there's something that's been around for that long, that obviously they're going to be doing a season 2. But what do you think? Do you think with all these elements, and even Feige co-signing himself saying, hey, this is on par, that it could be true, or is just another misdirect?
No,
Or,
I think it's definitely. I'll put it this way: of the 3 shows we know so far, we got Loki dropping next week. We've already seen Falcon. We've already seen WandaVision. Out of those 3, Loki is the most likely to have a sequel, in my opinion, because that makes sense. The story and the premise behind what's going on in the Loki show would definitely lend itself to a sequel, especially if these multiversal implications is going to continue leading right up to Secret Wars. If that's the case, then it would be dope as hell to get a Loki series with multiple seasons where we're actually following him trying to kind of like right these wrongs, kind of racing against time up to this like inevitability. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be crazy to see, because you can then kind of introduce these different versions of characters or these different alternate versions of events that could come back and play a role once we actually start getting into the Secret Wars story. And so that's the kind of thing that I really want to see with the MCU, especially with this phase and going forward, is how you kind of weave all of that together, and how do you take all of this content and kind of create a narrative that has a through line. No matter where or what piece of content you're looking at, where that stands in terms of the actual grand scheme of what's going on in the MCU. So no, I definitely think that we'll get a sequel to Loki, or sequel season is Loki. And I would even say, hell, we might even get like 3 or 4 seasons, because I think this show gonna slap. Like I think the Loki show is going to right the wrongs, and put that in quotations, that the MCU has committed with these first 2 shows. And I say that with quotations because I don't think the first 2 shows were horrible. I think there were some things that could have been done better, but I think a lot of that, the more I think about it, was just an expectation thing. I know that's something that some of us are like, nah, it wasn't just that, but there was a tinge of that, man. Like, we got to be real about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was a little bit of expectations being let down that kind of led to us not really feeling them shows, particularly me, for sure. You know what I'm saying? And I think with Loki, that's not going to be a problem. Like, I don't think we're going to have that issue with Loki, man. I think Loki is going to come out the box swinging.
I agree with you on the whole Loki thing, but I'm just a little on the outside when it comes to the other 2 shows about it just being our expectations mostly, because some of the stuff that we've hearing about, like they purposefully took out Doctor Strange. I feel like some of those things, and I'm gonna say it very lightly as I do, was just touched by the things happening in society to a point where they just felt like they were bad ideas when they really weren't, and they should just did what they did for the property. But I feel Loki's gonna slap, because it's a cosmic show. It's got nothing to do with what's going on Earth. So to me, you should just let that be as it is. Period. It doesn't have to be touched by earthly things like the other 2 shows were. So that gives it a great opportunity to slap on its own, in my opinion.
Doubt. Yeah, and I mean, again, we can't underestimate the fact that fans love Loki, like straight up. And I mean, if you think about it, Loki, even though he's not a villain per se, he's more like the anti-hero or anti-villain, however you want to look at it. But he's really the only like villain type character that has like withstood that first the Infinity Saga. You know what I'm saying? Like all the other villains or antagonists have kind of faded away. Like there's nobody left that could potentially come back or that fans really even want to see come back in that way. So Loki is that dude, and like people love that dude. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, and for good reason. I mean, he like Tom Hiddleston kills that role, and so
yes, he does.
You know, seeing more of the, you know, the potential of seeing more of that those exchanges with him and his brother, you know, Loki and Thor doing their thing or whatnot. Like that's really what makes, I think, Loki pop. You know what I'm saying? It's like those exchanges that he's able to have, the way he's got like those quippy comebacks and stuff like that, like that just accentuates the fact, you know, aside from just the dude's presence on screen, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a combination of all of that. And so I'm hyped to see the show. I can't wait for it to drop next week. I'm going to be doing that same, staying up to the midnight hour on the West Coast, so we can make sure we can get that in, man, because it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Let me see. Fire emojis in the chat if you think Loki is going to be a banger. I want to know how y'all feel about it, though. How do you feel about it?
And I'm gonna do early predictions. I'm thinking that by the end of Loki, not only will they confirm that there's going to be a season 2, but at some way, form, or fashion, he'll probably reprise his role. Either he'll reprise his role in Thor: Love and Thunder, or we find out that this hooded character that he's being antagonized by is Kang the Conqueror, in which they'll reveal that by the end, and you'll see the obvious, tagline at the end that he's going to be returning in Quantumania.
Gotcha.
So we'll probably get both of those in some kind of iteration by the end of it. So
yeah, no doubt.
I can't wait to see what happens.
I'm right there with you, man. I tell you something else too, man, that's real interesting to me is this Michael Waldron cat and just how much he's involved with some of these MCU projects, man. Like,
Michael Waldron, was he the writer on the Rick and Morty, right?
Yeah, he's right. He's writer on the Rick and Morty show. Yep. He's doing Loki. I think there's another project that he's doing or he was involved in with the MCU. I don't think it was just Loki. Oh man, but now it's escaping me, and of course I don't have.
Oh well, right now he's writing Loki. He also helped rewrite the script that was needed for Doctor Strange.
Yes, that's what Madness. It was.
And from there, Feige also plucked him to help him on his little secret Star Wars movie.
Ah, that's right. He sure did. So you know,
it's getting around.
Exactly that, and that's the thing, man. It's like when you see that, you know, it makes me wonder. When I see that, it makes me wonder, like, this dude must be on to something. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not usually there's that stuff's kind of spread out. You know what I'm saying? I get that people have their favorites or whatnot, but it's not very often that you have a dude kind of brought in and he's like, oh, now we're gonna put you everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it makes sense. It makes total sense because if he and Feige have kind of a similar vision, and Feige's like, you know what, you feel me on that level, man. You feel where I'm going, then it would make total sense that Feige would like leverage him to help with his super secret Star Wars project. And that makes me wonder when dude is taking elements from stuff like Inglourious Bastards, Catch Me If You Can, and using that to kind of help him tailor Loki, then that makes me wonder, you know, what kind of stuff could he come up with for Star Wars? And I know, you know, we had the story a while back that they doubled down on the idea that Feige's only doing this one movie. You know what I'm saying? For Star Wars. It's not a series. He's not doing Feige Star Wars or anything like that in terms of taking it over. But it kind of makes you wonder, right? Like, what if the movie that they come up with is so fire that you can't deny Feige or Waldron? You know what I'm saying? Like, what?
Right.
That you could.
I don't know how I feel about that. Is I don't think that this is really, looking at it from a different perspective, I don't feel like this is really something that is going to benefit Feige in the long run. What it looks like to me is like you were saying, him and Feige are on the same page so much that Feige kind of is pulling him in to do a Star Wars movie because Feige himself will probably do one off, but that's not to say that Michael Waldron will continue and possibly
Yeah.
write more Star Wars. And it's said that Michael Waldron has a deep love, passion, and everything for Star Wars,
Right.
just like Kevin Feige did. So why else wouldn't you want to work with a person who possibly as like-minded on that platform as you are?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously they're probably getting real good friendship going on if they hadn't had one in the past that hasn't been revealed yet. So I just feel like more or less that this is Feige saying, hey, I'm gonna pull you in on the Star Wars thing that I'm doing, and when I step away from that, if make a banger, we hit it and make a banger, you can keep writing Star Wars, keep
Gotcha.
going on in your craft and your passion in that direction.
I see where you're going with it. So you basically saying Feige's on that 6D chess doing that white sugar shit again, huh? I see.
Setting the main up.
Yeah, man. Setting them up. Because again, and
because if you can't have Feige, the next
best
thing,
hey, big facts. And that's the thing, man. And this is what I was saying. I was getting at, when somebody had made the comment when we talked about the idea of Feige actually heading up both the MCU and Star Wars. And saying, well, that would stretch Feige too thin. Nah, man, because you can do things like this. This is all you would have to do is you don't have to be hands-on with every project. What you do is you delegate. You find people who understand and identify with the vision that you are trying to create, and you let them create under your guidance. Like you give them the blueprint, but you tell them, hey, you make it however you want to make it, but just make sure these elements are there. You know what I'm saying? I'm really interested though, because it almost, I don't have it with me like the quote right now, but it was like they were talking to Waldron about like the whole Star Wars thing, and he was kind of making it seem like he wasn't sure if the powers that be over there on the Lucasfilm side would be totally down with he and Feige kind of taking it and running with it like that, even if they did come out with like a banger. And this is this starts to all this smoke, man, like all these subliminals, man, that's coming towards like between Lucasfilm and the MC and Marvel under that Disney umbrella, man. Like I know we talked about this before and we were like, nah, man, the mouse got dollars on dollars, but dollars don't equate to space necessarily, man. Like it might be a little too crowded under that Disney umbrella now, man. Like could we actually be at a point where the MCU and Lucasfilm got a little bit of beef? Like, could it? What you think about that, man? You think it might be any inkling of truth to that at all?
Of beef, though, that kind of makes though. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, signs of dissent can happen in the house. I mean, yes, but it makes no sense, to be completely honest. There's too many good things that's happening, especially in Marvel, and it's going in its own direction for it to even really honestly clash with Star Wars. I think people are just probably trying to drum up a bit of news because Kevin Feige and Star Wars they're making it a connection. But to me, I just feel like that's more or less just a tube. You know what I'm saying? You have a connective tube instead of tissue. And then this way, whenever you want the two things to kind of intersect in a kind of way, you just open up that tube and let it happen for a moment and you just shut it back. I don't really think like beef doesn't make like who can you honestly be beefing with when it seems like Feige almost set up everybody who's over on Star Wars right now. You got Favreau over there. It's apparently cool and then keen with Filoni. Now he's bringing in Michael Waldron, which is almost as if like he split himself in some kind of a mitosis and then tossed him over there in order for him to have some kind of hand in what's going on in Star Wars without him being the one to have a hand in Star Wars. So, I mean, it just doesn't make sense for him to have some kind of a beef.
Right.
But
well, I mean,
if they
just
did,
I
don't think we could handle it.
I kind of look at it though like it could be maybe a little bit of a sibling rivalry type situation where you got both kids trying to please the parents and they kind of, move, it's my turn, let me get some shine, like kind of a situation like that. I definitely don't think, first of all, it's too much money for them to be that mad. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to ever be that, I don't think. But it could be a situation where they're both kind of competing for that top spot in that dichotomy, at least. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not necessarily where there's animosity there, But it could be like that little friendly competition, sibling rivalry type thing where it's like, no, we here. Y'all still trying to play catch up. And then the Star Wars side is like, nah, we don't need y'all. We don't need a Feige. We got it over here. Even though they do need a Feige. Even though hopefully Filoni will be their Feige. But I'm just saying.
Feige.
Yeah, there you go. Put that in the dictionary, folks. Feige.
Feige. I don't want to say what that sounds like. It sounds like some kind of a fungus going somewhere.
Man, look. I
got the Feige on me.
That's when you need that tough acting.
Oh,
boom!
Tough acting.
Yeah, you got the Feige. Boom!
But you here, you spray here.
There you go. Oh man, they don't know nothing about that. They don't know nothing about that. They don't know. But that's where I'm at with it, man. It just is. There's a lot of these stories, man, that are coming out where it just seems like it is either like this, like kind of subliminal shade type stuff being said. Is oh no, Feige's not doing anything outside of the MCU. Like this is where he's gonna stay. You got like the Dave Filoni stuff dropping, but then there's no big thing behind. It just really seems like something ain't all good over there under the house of the mouse. And it might not be nothing. It might not be nothing. It might not be anything at all.
Might not.
But then it could be.
But then it very well could be, especially since we know Disney's going under a little bit of a change
Mm-hmm.
in management.
And maybe that's the thing is like when you think about Bob Chapek and all of that, and maybe everybody's kind of jockeying for a position to try to get next to the man because now they know Iger's on his way out, so this dude is up next, and they like you know what? No, I gotta be the one to get right next to dude. You know what I'm saying? It could be a little bit of that kind of going on, but I think ultimately there's no way that they let it get to a point where it's like out of control. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be that whatsoever. They'll figure it out. And even if there's anything to figure out, because I to be honest, don't necessarily think it's nothing like that. It's very interesting. And I will definitely have my eyes on that situation. Because
most stuff.
All I want, we all know what I want. All I want is some good ass Star Wars and some good ass Marvel. You give me that, we are okay.
Yeah, I'm most definitely with that, but I mean, I'm not sure how we're supposed to have some good ass Star Wars or anything if it's legal for me to shit all over the sequel trilogies and say it's just trash, it's mediocre at best, and schlonky.
Yeah,
they done pulled out schlonky.
Oh man, see, look, you trying to go there already, and look, I was gonna take a quick little break. You know what I'm saying? So we can shout out some of the peeps in the community in the chat. And you already trying to stir that pot. Man, hold on.
That's where the sauce is in, man. I had to stir the pot just for a second, make sure the sauce.
Yeah, if you ain't got that sauce, then that's your loss. This.
Yes.
But let's take a look, man. Who rocking with us tonight, man? I see Nikki in here. What's good?
Mm-hmm.
I see
Skybooker.
Yep. How you know I was going there? Like, how do you be knowing? How?
I can't tell you.
Yeah, I know.
Can't tell you at all.
I know what it is. It's that ESPN.
Yes. We got ESPN.
That extrasensory perception, Nerdvenger. I know what it is, man. Yeah. Yep. We got Jason Strope in here. What's good? Steve Truitt is in here. Let me see. Where them broke Vengers at? I see. Who else? Who we got?
I gotta shout out to homie Carl Wickstrom. He's been here for a minute. Green Badge, man.
Oh, Green Badge. What's up, man?
Yeah.
You know it.
Mike Hawes with the Diamonds. OG fan.
Oh, shout out to the Diamond. The Diamond Squad. Diamonds. Hey, we might do a little something with the Diamonds doing conversation and libation, man. We might have something. We might do a little something with the Diamond community. Let me see. We got James Marshall, Broke Venger. What's good? Justice Simone, I see you. Who we got? Blessed Belly.
Look,
look, there it is again. Look, there it is again. That ESPN, man. ESPN. And then, we always got a few people that be lurking, man. They don't be in the chat necessarily, but definitely got to give a shout out to the homie Sean. That would be Big Sean and Lil Sean Jr., man. Shout out. Came through, hooked your boy up with the solar panels. I'm trying to get that next level over here on my little corner of the Nerve Avenger Tower. Trying to do my thing, man. Right. So shout out to Sean. I know y'all watching, man. They hit me on the phone. Look, gave me the picture and everything. Like, I'm going to show you, look, letting your boy know they already own it, man. Like, they there.
Oh, man.
Watching right now live and popping. Appreciate y'all coming through. Salute, yes, man. Keep it coming. We love it, man. We love it. Also got to shout out the homie Lawrence. Wifey was doing the Nerve Avenger grind, doing her thing, working, doing whatever, and happened to start mentioning that I was, that we be out here in these streets doing what it do, and dropped the Dinner Nerds, and dude was like, I love that channel. So you know what that tells me?
Hey,
the people know what's up. They know what's up.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to the homie O'Brien Sealy.
My
brother.
Yes.
My actual brother.
His actual brother. Yeah.
Yes.
I know y'all like to think we related, but nah, we just vibe like that. We just vibe like that.
Like, you can't duplicate this. You can't make this up.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely. You know what though?
Very genuine, authentic.
Speaking of that you can't make up, did you hear about the Star Wars court case nonsense?
No, really?
Oh,
you
man.
Don't say.
Oh, let me tell you about this. Apparently, there is a court case where a judge has now made it legal to refer to the sequel trilogy as mediocre and schlocky. Ain't that nothing?
Right.
I mean, like, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, they hit you with some more juicy goodness.
Yes.
So apparently, the way that this worked out is there was some kind of a dispute. Don't really know the particulars of it, but this judge decided to kind of. Or do you want to break it down?
I can shed a little light for what I've heard. So pretty much the thing is that apparently George Lucas had made a promise before he sold to Disney that he wouldn't make any more like mediocre movies, Star Wars movies. And he was referring to the prequel movies.
Mm-hmm.
So even though he had nothing to do with what Disney did with it after he sold it, the promise still kind of legally holds up. And someone for real, legit made a court case out of it. And at the moment, it's at least a court case to where it is legal to refer to these sequel trilogies as mediocre and schlocky at best, because apparently the argument is he didn't fulfill the promise.
Got you. Now,
so here we go.
I had to do a little bit more digging on this because I was like, you know what? There has to be more to this. There just has to be. So I'm going to bring this article up, man. Shout out to Screen Crush because they actually got some of the particulars also. And I just so that we can marvel at the ridiculousness of this and then get into the validity of the statement. We ain't going to go there. Hold on. All right. So apparently the case in question had to do with whether or not Conagra Foods Incorporated was responsible for placing a 100% natural label on bottles of Wesson oil. However, Conagra Foods no longer owns Wesson oil, so they no longer have the power to make that kind of a call. Simply put, the new owner of Wesson oil can resume using the 100% natural label at any time it wishes, thereby depriving the class of any value theoretically afforded by the injunction. Conagra thus essentially agreed not to do something in which it lacks the power to do, Lee wrote. Then, in a surprising twist, Lee likened the situation to Disney's acquisition of the Star Wars franchise. He said, "That is like George Lucas promising no more mediocre and schlocky Star Wars sequels. shortly after selling the franchise to Disney. Such a promise would be illusory. And in case you didn't know which movies he was referring to, he added a footnote that reads, as evident by Disney's production of The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. This judge didn't just go there. He put names on it. He was like, just in case you didn't know, I am talking about you, Last Jedi, and you, Rise of Skywalker, you schlocky nerd vengers, you. Like, yes. Dog. Now, look, I know everybody would expect me to really go in on this and be like, this is just the most ridiculousness ever. This is hilarious.
This is really
This is straight up comedy right now. Like, straight up comedy. Like, we have, in 2021, arrived at a place where there is now legal precedent for insinuating that The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker were trash. So now, I don't even have to justify saying it because now it is basically documented in a court of law. Come, how great is America?
Oh my goodness.
Please.
Oh my goodness. That's hilarious to me, especially after my debate 8 rant last night about
I heard
how
about
they treated Han Solo.
I heard about that.
And now all of a sudden it is canon. It is real life law to say that the sequel trilogies is trash. And it just really, if they had said this a day or so sooner, it would have totally been in my rant last night, just to further solidify.
I'm trying to tell you, man. This is so insane to me. Like, it's hilarious because you can't avoid it now. Like, and the thing about it, if you really kind of get into the meat and potatoes of it, it's not like technically he said it's now law to say that, but just by using that analogy, that's all you need. That's all Star Wars fans needed to hear, because now it is legal. You can say it is legal. Like, wow.
Yes.
And my man, shout out to Carl Wickstrom, says verified case law is the term, Al.
Yeah.
Thank you for that clarification. I appreciate you, guy. Like and subscribe.
Right.
No, I'm just
last time I checked, this is after dark. We can say shalarky, malarkey, wherever we want. We got our own dictionary. Turn up.
But I can't even be mad at this though. Like, I can't even be mad at this one bit, because it's one of those things that, like, that judge is just saying what we all knew anyway, right? Like, is this a shock? I think the more shocking thing is the fact that he actually found a way to use the term schlocky. I had to go, like, I watched the Nerdy News Rundown, and the homie Josh was trying to get that word out, man. I'm like, yeah, that was a struggle.
Wasn't it?
That was a struggle.
It's almost hard to watch. And I was really proud of him when I was personally proud of him when he decided to look it up in the video.
That's what I'm talking about.
Just because that's real. That was real to me.
That's it. That's it right there, man. Like, just the beauty of that being, and this is, and the funny thing about it to me, like, beyond the ridiculousness of it, is it's just like it would have to be Star Wars. This couldn't be any other franchise. It has to be
DC.
No, it wouldn't be DC. Like, DC can't even say that. DC can't even say that. Like, DC sitting back chilling like, hey, well, at least we ain't dealing with them kind of problems. We ain't got no lawyers and judges over here making rulings and throwing our name in it. Because it's like, if I'm Star Wars, like, if Star Wars was a person, right? And let's just, like, if Star Wars was a person, Star Wars would be like, why are you bringing me up? This didn't even have nothing to do with me. This case had to do with, like, some oil. And y'all got to bring Star Wars in. You got to bring me into it. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I was sitting over here minding my business. We trying to get ready for another episode of Bad Batch tonight.
We need to go out and cast a Tony Baker. so he could be Star Wars.
Yes.
He totally needs to be Star Wars.
Yes.
And hit everybody with some skibbity paps and skip dab diddly dees and all of that.
100, man. 100. Like it's just gotta happen, man. It's gotta happen. And it's just, but again, this is the funny thing about it. But that wasn't all the Star Wars news. That wasn't the only thing that dropped. It was the funniest, but it wasn't the only. Apparently, the homie John Boyega has let it be known that he would be open to coming back to Star Wars.
Yes, sir.
As long as it was with Kathy, JJ, and the old crew. How about that?
How about that?
Now,
seems like things are turning around over there somehow.
Before I even get into my take, what I want to ask the Nerdvenger community and you, my guy, is, would you be down to see John Boyega come back if it meant JJ and Kathleen Kennedy were still around?
I don't see why I would have to infringe on either one of them two, to be completely honest. I would like to see John Boyega come back, whether they were involved or not. But I mean, if he feels like he would come back if those two were involved, and obviously out of everything that might have happened during that time, those two were people that he resonated with and had a good relationship with.
Mm-hmm.
So if that feeds his ego, if that feeds whatever he needs to perform while he's out there doing that, then sure, I wouldn't mind it. Like, I'm not going to be like, nah. I would hopefully, like I just said, those would invigorate him enough to where whatever property they decide to put him in, we'd be able to at least focus on that and be like, hey, Boyega killed that. And if he wants to shout them out as inspiration, then fine. But to be honest, I don't really care about either one of them two. But Boyega coming back would be dope. And it would be even dope if he came back and they gave him the arc that they were talking about giving him in the first place. In some kind of respect. That's really what I would like to see. Because I thought that they were going to make him at least force sensitive to the point where he would wield the saber, blah, 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 blah. And that, to me, I thought would be an interesting thing with the fact that he's a clone in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So, but, we'll see. We'll never know.
No doubt.
Maybe he'll get reincarnated. Maybe they'll reincarnate like Mace Windu and make him like the Mace Windu Finn or something like that. Who knows?
Who knows, man?
Savior,
so here's the interesting thing about this, right? I know everybody's probably thinking I'm sitting over here reading that and going, hell no. I don't care if it's John Boyega. If you still gonna bring JJ back and Kathleen Kennedy gonna have anything to do with it, I'm sure everybody's thinking that I'm over here like, nah, sorry, John, but I rocks with you, but not that hard, bro. I can't past it. I'm here to tell you, people, I wouldn't have a problem with it. Under one condition, however, if the man Filoni was in creative control and had the final say on where things were going, you know what that would mean? Do you know what that would mean? That would mean Star Wars has something that it didn't have when JJ was trying to piece together that damn sequel trilogy. And what would that thing be?
I would have to say that thing would be a plan.
A plan.
It sounds like they would have a plan.
There you go.
Dadgummit.
If Filoni
did it again.
If Filoni is in creative control and he is the man calling the shots with the storyboard and all of that and the lore and what's canon, what's not canon, where it's going in the next 50, 100, 150 years of Star Wars lore, then in that case, I would be lukewarm to the idea of Kathleen Kennedy sticking around, JJ sticking around, and Boyega coming back to reprise his role as Finn. Because that's really all it comes down to for me, people. I don't dislike Kathleen Kennedy. I don't dislike JJ. I dislike what they did to my franchise. Oh, I vehemently dislike that. But we heard it from JJ himself, even though he brought it up way late, even though it wasn't no reason for him to bring that up. We heard that in his opinion, he needed a plan. He needed somebody to
plan.
kind of guide him along, to kind of give him a framework to operate in so that he would know how far not to go. Now, I know he kind of shot some slugs at Ryan low key when he said that, talking about the jokes and whatnot and all that good stuff and trying to put it off. But nah, JJ, you had a lot to do with that too, man. Because Force Awakens, I had questions, bruh. I had questions. I wasn't quite sure where that was going, but I was cautiously optimistic. And then, of course, Rian Johnson happened and the whole thing crashed and burned. But if you have a plan, if Filoni is the one that is to make sure that everything is in line, then you know what? I actually do see a possibility. I do see a scenario where John Boyega could come back, where Daisy Ridley could come back, and we could actually continue some of the plot threads that were introduced in the sequel trilogy in a way that would make sense and actually, believe it or not, be entertaining. I know that sounds radical. I know some of y'all are ready to rage, but you got to hear me on this, please.
Felicity.
See, you said it. I wasn't gonna say it. I wasn't gonna say it.
My bad.
But Felicity.
I don't just I coughed. I'm just talking about.
Oh yeah, you're right.
See?
It's going around. It's going around. It's contagious.
But
But
air in here.
that's all you need is a plan. That's all they needed was a singular vision. That is where everything fell off the rails. It's like that episode.
What rails? Star Wars has rails.
It should.
I ain't never seen no rails.
It
On
should.
the bridges they need. Yeah, they should. But I ain't off the rails. That's probably the problem in the first damn place.
Look, I'm gonna take it back. It's like that episode of Fresh Prince when like baby Nikki hadn't been born yet, and they was putting together that Le Crib Chalet, and my man was like, "I don't need no instructions."
Right.
That's what the sequel trilogy was like. It would have been all good if you had some instructions, some guidance. Apparently you didn't know. It's like the Wild West. Y'all just got out there and was like, yeah, just write whatever you want to write. Do what feels good.
Are you trying to say that the sequel trilogies is equivalent to Oregon Trail?
Sure. If the wagon got like robbed in the night and somebody stole 8 sets of clothing, 2 wagon tongues, 2 wheels, and you couldn't find anybody to trade with for like 100-mile radius. Yeah, that's
Are you trying to tell me that that specific scenario has never happened to you in Oregon Trail? It happened to me at least.
Oh, like at least every 5 times I play Oregon Trail.
Mm-hmm. Before I even get to the water.
Exactly.
They
you know what? I was just gonna say, and that's what, and you absolutely right, because that was JJ at the end with the Rise of Skywalker, like floating down the dallies, like trying to avoid them rocks. Like, oh, we almost there. We might have lost 4-5 people on the way, but we made it. We got here. It's like 3 tombstones and 1 person, but we survived. Right. The legacy will live on. Like, boy, if you ain't hit the nail on the head with that one. Like that part right there, boy. Like seriously. Sequel trilogy wasn't nothing but a bad game of Oregon Trail. That's all it was. That's all it was, man.
For around 8 hours.
Yep, that was it. That was it. You knew it was bad because you got halfway into it where you got to decide which path you're gonna take. You gonna take the long way or try and hit that shortcut. As soon as you decide to take that shortcut, no grass for the oxen.
Right.
Storm set you back 1 week.
What if they made a Star Wars version of Oregon Trail?
Oh,
what if that would be like?
Man,
that would be hilarious.
I am here for it. You start me on like Tatooine, and I got to make my way all the way to Batuu, and I got like, oh man, a bounty hunter has stole.
Right, you get 1 speeder.
That's
and
it.
You got 4 people you need to bring.
Oh my god, come on, man. Oh, bro,
everything to the top.
This is what happened. But yeah, this is it's insane, man. But it's that's all it is. You just needed a plan. You just needed a plan. And look, I'm gonna say, like, I really do want to see, like, all jokes aside, I want to see John Boyega come back. I want to see them do him justice. I want to see Finn the way Finn was meant to be. Like, Finn was supposed to be a badass black Jedi. He was supposed to be the next Mace Windu. That's what I had. Look, the way that they set up my guy in Force Awakens, when he took that lightsaber and was like, "Come get it," I was like, "Hey, let's go." This dude finna be my favorite Star Wars character. Then they put him in Last Jedi and he screamed Rey like every 5 minutes. It's like, what happened? What happened? You know what happened? There was no plan.
No, not at all.
There was no plan.
You know what happened? It sounded like somebody was really watching Boys to the Hood and watched my man Ricky get wet up. And he was like, Ricky! It was like, Rey! It was like, yes!
That works.
Do it.
That'll get them on our side. Oh man. That's it.
But zigged, but she zagged.
Oh yeah. But that's the thing, man. It's so unfortunate. It is so unfortunate that the sequel trilogy has such a stain on it, because there really are some dope ass elements in those movies that, like, I would love to see played out a little bit more in Star Wars. Like, I would love to see where, you know, those two sabers go that Rey buried, and who finds those and where that goes. I would love to see the whole idea of Snoke explored, and not just like the way that we're kind of backtracking it with Mandalorian and the whole cloning thing, but actually, you know, the implications of that from the Force, like an explanation or exploration of that concept of like a Force wielding clone or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that's what we're getting in Bad Batch. Who knows? We still don't know really the full story behind Omega, which, by the way, don't we have that watch party tonight too, man?
I believe we do.
I do believe we do. Yes, sir. Yes,
we're
sir.
We'll be watching the Bad Batch.
That's a Bad Batch.
Watch party with Josh. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Was that what we hit the 2:50, 3 o'clock in the mountain?
Yeah, it'd be late. It'd be hard too, man.
Late.
I be feeling like Felicity. I'm like, man, grown folks got jobs.
Right.
But we still be in there though.
30 now.
Still be in there.
You still be in there. Shit. I be in bed. I ain't even gonna front. I'll be in front. I will catch that in the morning.
Hey man, I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you one bit. But that would have been that's the thing, man. It's just, I just want to see good Star Wars again. And that's not to say that Mandalorian wasn't good Star Wars or that, you know, Bad Batch. I love both of those, but it's something about them movies, man. It's something about them movies. And I will tell you this. You had a couple of weeks ago the idea or the news floating around that Daisy Ridley says she might be open, or that she was in talks to reprise her role. Now you got John Boyega coming out and saying, yeah, I'd be down to come back if under these conditions. Where there is smoke, my guy. I always say,
all we need is, you know, Oscar Isaac. That's all you need now.
That's it.
I heard about that too.
Hey, and look, they got the stage, bro. They ain't got to worry about they can film some stuff real quick. My man is doing Moon Knight. He right next door with them. But that's the question I wanted to ask you. So when you see, you know, you hear about like the idea of Michael Waldron and him working with Feige to do that Star Wars project, but then him making comments to make it almost seem like he's not really sure that you know, Disney, Lucasfilm would want to kind of mess around with them on that level because they're, you know, tied up with MCU. Do you think that would end up starting to become a thing with the actors and actresses? Like, could we see a situation where there's a line drawn and you really don't see them playing in both realms as much anymore? You think that would be a thing or nah?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's a free space for actors in general, for their agents and all that types of stuff. When they're free, they're free. When they're not under contract, they're not under contract. I just think it really depends on how the studios treat these characters. And when it comes down to it, like you said, they're all still under the same house. So I really wouldn't be surprised to see, you know, some of these characters. I wouldn't be surprised if somehow Boyega winds up coming over to Marvel to play a character or something like that. You know, it's possible.
Oh, yeah. I would love to see Boyega in the MCU. Hell yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. But I don't think that that's going to be something I think it'd be something that we just see, and it would just kind of be an organic thing. I don't think it would be something like they're
Hold
like, "Oh,
on.
you're on Star Wars, you stay over there. You're in Marvel, you stay over there." Like I think even Brie Larson's supposed to be in one of these Star Wars things. I heard, rumored. I don't know
Hold
which
on.
one, but I
You
heard it.
just got my brain. My brain just went somewhere when you said that. Because the first thing that comes into my mind is, okay, well, if Boyega was to be in the MCU, who would he be? Immediately, this popped into my head. Young Isaiah Bradley.
I can see that.
Let him.
Maybe not a young. I can see him being an older version. If you wanted to age him up, shave his head off. I say like, yeah, because like Isaiah Bradley, they're gonna keep him around the teenage years. So for an older version. Oh, excuse me.
No,
you know what?
no. I'm like,
I be thinking about Elijah.
You thinking
Bradley.
about Elijah?
A
No,
young
I'm saying,
Isaiah. Yeah, no,
I'm saying
you know what?
Isaiah.
No, my bad.
Right.
My bad. Yeah. See, I was doing that
No, I
when we
feel
was watching
you.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier, mixing them up.
It's all good.
You know I'm bad with names. That's why I be saying old girl, dude, Nerdvenger, and this guy.
Yep.
See, y'all ain't caught on to that yet. I don't keep names, but no, Isaiah Bradley.
Yes.
Yes, I can see that. Yes,
Dude,
yes,
that would be
facts.
incredible.
Put him in there with Winter Soldier or something like that.
Yes.
Show that fight that we've been hearing. Yeah,
Exactly.
I'd be down for that.
Get John
100%.
Boyega to play that role, dude, and you can we see him go on some of them missions, and it culminates with him and
I'm down with
him and Bucky.
Yes.
Like, come on,
Yes.
man. Like, I thought about that and was like, perfect. That's that right there. You could do. I would give me a whole show of that. Give me a whole series of that.
Matter of fact, bring back Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Bring back. See again. I'm gonna do it again. Bring back dude who played Isaiah Bradley in the last one.
Yes.
His name escapes me right now. And then you have him where he tells stories about.
Bingo! Come on, man. Get out my head, Charles.
Yes, the flashbacks is John Boyega.
Yes.
And all that. Yes.
Come on. Oh my God, bro. That'd be so lit. Like, I would take my money. I'm like, I want all of it, bro. Like, that would be crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Because I think he would. I think John would kill that role. He would. He would kill in that role, man. It would just be incredible. Yeah. But yeah, I would definitely. And for me, I know there's like this thought. I've heard some people when we bring this up say that it like you start to get fatigued from those actors and actresses because you see them in everything. Not for me. If they portray the role in a great way, I don't care how often you like. That's my thing. Like, put them on the screen. Let's see it. Let's see it. Now, right. I don't want it to get too crazy. I don't want to see like every single actor kind of jumping back and forth between both properties. But the ones that actually can own the screen and really give you a performance to where you get lost in that character and you don't even remember that it's this person. I think John Boyega is one of those types, man. I think he would actually be somebody that could really transcend whatever role you put him in if you gave him the freedom and the creativity to express himself in that role. Man, think about it. Especially with, you think about kind of like his stance on a lot of the stuff that had been going on in society for real, and how John was out there on the front lines, like really about that life. Like, imagine him bringing that energy to the screen, man. As Isaiah Bradley, young Isaiah Bradley. Boy, look, we might have to hashtag that one. We might have to start a movement, because I'm totally for that. I don't know about you.
Probably something we still wouldn't see for like another 10 years though.
Oh, you're right.
They're already in the future. So
that's that. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
X-Men with the crossover with the Y, the X. Yeah, it'd be like 15 years.
Yeah. Forgot to carry the 3, but it's all right.
I left it there on purpose. I got tired by that point.
Yeah, it's that new math.
We know it ain't gonna happen.
Right, exactly. That's the thing. It's like you getting all gassed up, and we know damn well we'll get.
Yeah, it's like drinking invisible drink.
Yeah,
because absolutely nothing tastes better. But it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah, man.
I like to sit back on some purple drink because that's tangible, at least.
Tangible, indeed. But yeah, man, I think right now would be a good time to get into a little bit of that conversation and libation. Yeah, man, let's get into it. Let's see what we got here. You want to kick that off, man?
Let's see what we got here first. And of course, if you got some loot, go ahead and put it in the super chat. I will read anything within reason that you put in for a super chat. And top billing for me is the homie Cashton with the $4.99. He said, I love Thursdays. Hope you guys are having a good night. Much love and Bad Batch, baby. Hey, yeah, man. I'm all caught up on Bad Batch. And I actually am very interested still in seeing where this next episode is going to go. Omega seems to be growing pretty well with the Bad Batch crew. And I want to know what they're planning on doing with that spoiler alert, that DNA they didn't want, because apparently old Django Fett ain't holding up no more. And they want a little more something more potent. And they only got a little bit of time left to do it if they want to stay within this new galactic empire.
Right.
So
yeah, man, it's gonna be.
I don't know how that's gonna go.
It's crazy. I will say, man, these episodes have been dope, but I'm kind of waiting. For that old snap. Like we ain't got the old snap yet, and that's the one thing I'm waiting for. And I know, usually with Filoni, those old snaps usually don't come till towards the end of the series or the season. I'm really hoping that's a little bit different this time. I really hope we get an old snap here at the midway, like around the midway point of the show, simply because I just really want us to get to that point where we start connecting the dots. Like that's what I want. I want us to get to a point where we connecting some dots.
Right. Yeah, I'm definitely down for them dots to start connecting and making some Star Wars implications. No, stop. That only works for multiversal. Anyway, we got Brandon Jansen with the very generous $69.99. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you.
Just wanted to let you two and the whole Den team know that I really appreciate everyone, and you've kept me going all through my grind and drastic life change. I'm grateful I can catch this one live with you two, get that purple drink on Nerd Vengers. Well, hopefully, Brandon Jensen, we put on a nice, good little show for you tonight. Something for you to watch and laugh and continue on in that grind. We're here for you, baby.
That's what's up, man.
Out there making
what
them
he
changes,
said,
man. You making them changes.
What he just said, man. What he just said.
See,
can't say it better myself.
Right. Then the homie OG fan came through with the $2 holo. Thank you. Said, this judge obviously has the mother sauce. You guys go ahead and say that again, Al.
Oh, you mean that if you ain't got that sauce, then that's your loss. See, and you can't just say it. You got to give him that head nod with it too. You got to hit him with that. It's your loss.
Right. Well, if it was my sauce, then I would have, but it's your sauce, so I got you guys hit him with it.
You right.
Same.
You right.
If I try to do that, it won't have the same consistency. That's why I got the purple drink.
That's right. You got the drink, and I got the sauce.
Exactly. Bring it together. That's a fire-ass barbecue. Let's see. Here we got the OG came through again. He said, "Al gonna make me lose my mind up in here, up in here."
You know me, man.
Yeah, man. Definitely. We already know. I'll be coming through with the facts. Hit you with the whole machine.
The whole machine.
Like nothing.
All
then
facts.
He came through again with the $2 holler one more time.
Appreciate
he said,
that.
Just simping for the lady main, Felicity Pooh Bell. She's getting a lot of love tonight, ain't she?
Ain't she, though?
A little bit of hate, a little bit of love. She said, hey.
Yeah, she here for it all, too.
Good. If people talk about you, man, you're doing a good thing, good or bad. Any PR is good PR.
Big facts.
So
big facts.
Some FBs and hearts and all that for Felicity in the chat. One more game. And then we got Extreme Boys with the $5. Thank you, sir. He said anyone who says that Bad Batch is moving too slow doesn't remember the vast majority of Clone Wars moved at almost the same pace.
Yes, 100. And that's the thing, is like I don't think it's moving slow. Like the pacing to me like feels right on line with Clone Wars and Rebels. No issues with that. I just like want some of those little nuggets where it's like, yo, and something tells me, and I don't have this on any authority, so this is not a spoiler, but I have a feeling that tonight might be that night where we like, oh, that's what they doing.
We shall see. I totally see, because I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking it's supposed to be like 15 episodes, and this would be fourth or fifth one.
This
it's too early still.
Yeah, maybe. But again, I don't think it's gonna be. So I don't think it's gonna be something like explosive. Like it's not gonna be anything where they connect all the dots and tell you like who Omega is. No, nothing like that. But I want to see some kind of a reference or some kind of an Easter egg or something that kind of gives us some vibes on where we're going. And I think we are right at that point where you got to kind of, because it's kind of like you got to keep the audience hooked. And I do feel like, though it's not boring, I feel like we've gotten to a point with these last couple of episodes where we're in cruise control. And I think every now and then you just got to, give the audience a little something to make sure they still with you. And I think tonight's going to be one of those nights where it's going to be a little something where we're going to be like, okay.
I feel like they get closer each time. You already got Finnick.
Yep.
So, and I don't know. I was kind of looking. I didn't know it was her at first. I wasn't 100% sure until they finally said it. And I was like, oh, okay. That is so I can be all up in that. But next we got Tommy Banana, $2. And he said, y'all missed my first super, but I love Main Gang. I didn't see your super, man.
Man, we apologize, brother. We didn't do it on purpose. I promise we didn't.
On purpose. We'll go ahead and put it in the regular chat, man, and I'll read it.
There you go.
Totally read it. You can even put for how much it was for, so I can say it the right way.
There you go.
Mr. Tommy Banana.
Banana. Yeah, man.
Banana.
Banana. Make them say, banana.
Banana.
Oh man. Then we get Mike Halls coming in with the $5 soup. Appreciate you, man. Said the gents killing it as always, but the court case was against George's Star Wars and not Disney's. So it's actually against the prequels and not the sequels. Semantics, man. Semantics. Like, no, you got a point though, but that was the thing that was so funny about it. Was like when you actually read the story, you realize that he wasn't necessarily poo-pooing on either. But if you really want to get technical, he was actually shitting on both. Because what he was saying was that the prequels were trash, and that would be like George Lucas selling it and going, we ain't making no more trash movies like them prequels. But then the sequels come out, and the sequel trilogy come out, and you're like, but they're still trash though. So he was actually giving it to both, which lets me know that Judge might know his Star Wars a little bit.
He might.
Because that's what I try to tell y'all. People sleep on how them prequels was received, man. Like,
this is true.
Let's not forget, y'all had Jar Jar on suicide watch, and that's not a joke. Like, that man went through it because he played a role. That was before, and that is very sad, man, and it's deplorable, to be honest. Like, I thought that was some of the most, like, that's just not a good look. It should never get to that point where you that serious about your fandom. Never. Like, where you attacking somebody as a person, you coming at people like that, like, that's ridiculous, man, straight up. But I mean, again, to me, that just shows you though that when we talk about the sequel trilogy, we're talking about it in the vacuum of now. Who knows how those are going to be received in 30 years, 20 years? You know what I'm saying? We coming up on 20 years from since we got Revenge of the Sith. So we 20 years deep just about with the prequel trilogy, and now people love the prequels. Like, people understand, and there's an appreciation for the prequels that was not there when they first dropped. I remember because I saw that. I saw that heat. I saw the way people was coming at George for those prequels. So when I see this with the sequel trilogy, I'm not saying that, somebody's going to turn around and say that, oh, they were actually great. No. But I guarantee you some of that stank going to wear off with time. It always does, man.
Oh, yeah.
Always does.
It always does. It always does. It's actually easier for it to wear off nowadays with, like, you got streaming shows and little cartoons and stuff that you can make canon. And especially when you do things animated, like, again, I feel like it's hard to mess it up because you can do so much more in an animated show. Like, just go for it. Go for Gusto. It's the best place to do it because it's cheap. It ain't going to cost you $150 million for you to have WandaVision implications. Just saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Animated.
That's what I'm saying, man. And I see
just the homie OG.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, who you got?
No, it wasn't a super though. I was finna touch on one of the touch on one of the comments in the chat, but
in the
you
chat.
go ahead,
Well,
man. Them supers. Get them supers out there.
An OG fan come through with the $2. He said, I hate to admit it, but episode 5 made me like, Omega.
I'm telling you, man, like she is going to be now. Please don't at me when I say this, but she is going to be this generation's Ahsoka. You watch. This generation will look back on Omega the same way we look at Ahsoka. This is the way that this is the Star Wars formula. I watched a dope ass video on the Star Wars Rebels. I think I saw it over the weekend. It was an hour and a half, a little bit long, but it breaks down the entire Rebels show, but it also gives you insight into the elements that help to create the show and insight into kind of how characters are written and their arcs within Star Wars. And when you watch that, you realize that Filoni in particular has a formula that he uses, and we are seeing that formula with Omega, like straight up. So just be ready, man. Like people are going to really feel that way. I think you give it some years, man. They're gonna be talking about Ahsoka the same way, or talking about Omega same way they talk about Ahsoka.
You said you're gonna soak up Omega?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They're gonna soak it all up.
It's making me want pancakes. Completely unrelated, but I just think about syrup getting soaked up in some pancakes. Yeah, let me stop before I get hungry.
We
still got a little bit more to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
He said, I'm already there.
I'm already there.
Oh man. Then we got the Bruce All Multi coming through with the $5 holiday. Thank you, sir. He said, just saying, technically this After Dark has been fantastic. Great clear video, clear, balanced, synchronized audio. Kudos to you and whoever doing technicals.
Appreciate that.
I'm gonna give most of the attribution, of course, to the triple OG.
Oh no, man.
The one who's running the stream right now. But I will also take my little small part in the video, because I got the video in there. The sound's kind of coming through now, Edith.
Yeah, we work. I told y'all we always working on them changes. We always work, and you think this is crispy. Wait till we get this equipment together on all fronts. Yes, we gonna turn up on you boys,
purple mains
and lady mains alike. Yeah. It's going down. But appreciate that, Bruce, man. Appreciate you. We so appreciate you noticing the work.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. I'm glad nobody's called out my tan yet. It's probably why I keep these shades on. You can kind of tell.
You got them hater blockers on, man. You got them hater blockers on.
Exactly. But we had a $5 holler from Lord Vito, but I'm going to let you read that one.
Okay, let me see. I did want to take your hand. Ben's hand. Raylo fan. How'd I do? Did I get that?
You did better than Van Jexter did the Sean Connery impression.
Oh, did I miss a horrible Sean Connery impression? Matter of fact, since we on that subject, I gotta ask you, man, what the hell was on your mind poo-pooing all over Star Wars like that? Yeah, you thought you was gonna be able to make this stream and me not mention that you over there on debate 8 trying to poo-poo on Star Wars because you trying to sway the people? You know, I just seen this debate 8 hustle. I know how this works.
And you know, every time, same formula works. Every time. Okay. It's kind of like Angry Man. 69% of the time, it works every time.
Well, look,
that it does.
Your Sex Panther, your Star Wars hate, all of it. I don't appreciate it, man. I don't appreciate it at all, because I saw that and I had to get. First of all, I got triggered when y'all had the audacity to say Blade Runner was not better than whatever that plane movie was. Was it Air Force One? Man, that movie is trash.
Blade Runner way better than that. What?
Air Force One was garbage. That movie was so cheap. And then here's the thing, though. Then y'all then y'all turn around and y'all admit that the movie was campy. You admit that the special effects was trash, but you try to hit me with that 90s nostalgia. No, man. Demolition Man is 90s nostalgia. That's 90s nostalgia. Air Force One shouldn't have been made. They don't need a remake, Adam. Nobody needs to remake Air Force One. You know what we need to do? We need to forget Air Force One happened.
No,
That ain't it. That ain't it. We talking about Blade Runner. Do you know how much Blade Runner has inspired? Do you know how many pieces of content, how many games, how many movies, how many projects people will tell you they got their inspiration from Blade Runner? Come on, man. Come on.
I do not.
Come on.
I would say Tron probably had a bigger impact than Blade Runner did.
Man, look, okay. So I will give you that. I will say that 100%. I will tell you that. But Blade Runner is that movie though. Especially when you stacking it up against Air Force One, my guy. I'm just saying.
Blade Runner was boring.
Oh, Blade man. So you know what?
Boring.
No.
I was more suspensed. I was more sucked in and even wanted to try to attempt to be the president. You probably like it better if it was like Barack Obama starting the Air Force One.
No, I wouldn't. I'd be mad as hell because I'd be like, see, look, why they got to put us in a movie and make us look stupid?
No, because you see, like Barack Obama would probably step out and be able to talk his way out of the situation. You know, it's Air Force One, and you need to get off my plane.
Now,
coming over here with all that.
Look here.
All that jazz.
You need to get off my plane. No, man, I ain't. No, it wouldn't have made a difference. You could have put Will Smith in that movie and I'd have still been like, nah, nah, I can't do it.
But I was on Air Force One, born and raised.
Oh my God.
Gosh. No, man. But to answer your original question, I had to do it, okay? I had to do it.
Why?
Because I've been watching Fanjexter's show for a long time now. But I've been watching Fanjexter's Debate 8 since like he first came up with that when he was doing even the morning show at 9 o'clock before we watched.
I don't know how far back I can go, but
man, right. Like you gotta disappear off the chair. Don't fall out the chair. I've been watching that long. So, but like I've seen the whole Star Wars always wins, man. It's always Star Wars. Star Wars is Star Wars that. But we were talking Harrison Ford. And in this unique situation, the fact of the matter is that they completely obliterated Han Solo by their sequel trilogies, okay? They completely obliterated him. They stabbed my man in the heart. They threw him off the railless bridges. And then they blew up the planet, okay? Dust. Done. Okay? They took
you know
him
what, though?
all the way out.
But you do realize that Harrison Ford said the only way he'd come back is if they killed Han Solo off, right?
You see, because he wanted to go play more indie. That's
the only because Harrison Ford realized Star Wars fans be on some other shit. That's what that's about. He ain't want them. He didn't want to deal with them people. I don't blame him.
Hey,
and they was like, "Oh, you want? If we gonna kill you, we gonna make sure you dead. Ain't gonna be no coming back for Han because we gonna slice you up. We gonna throw you over the bridge, and then we gonna incinerate the planet. You ain't coming back.
And your son gonna hate you for the rest of his life."
He didn't hate him. He cried at the end. He talked to his daddy's imaginary figure at the end and all that.
He only stabbed him. He's mad. That's all he got to do. He should have literally chopped him up and then tossed him off. That's what he was really mad about.
Man, all I'm saying is
do more.
All I'm saying is when Han showed up at the end of Rise, that kind of put a little tear in my eyes. I was like, oh man, that's his pops. And he coming to, then I remembered, why the hell wouldn't that be Anakin? And then I was mad all over again. And then the movie just didn't.
See. So I had whole 1,000 valid rights to say what I said about
the sequel trilogy.
I waited till the end at least.
But Harrison Ford in the sequel trilogy shouldn't even count because he was only in like 2.5 seconds of that movie.
The whole thing.
The OG trilogy. The OG trilogy alone. And this is where I take issue with Fanjexter, because how you gonna just put Star Wars all into one category, all mishmash together like that, putting all, because you know good and well that at this point the sequel trilogy stinks so much that you smell that before you do the greatness of the OG trilogy. You don't even get to enjoy the OG trilogy without somebody reminding you about what happened in the sequel trilogy these days. So that was messed up, man. You loaded that. Don't give me this, we did it for the sake of like making sure that it wasn't flooded with Star. You could have took one Star Wars movie that Han Solo was featured in, the best one. You could have went with Empire and we'd have been cool with that. You could have even said, okay, let's go with A New Hope. because that's when you first meet Han Solo. And we get the whole Han shot first situation and the whole 9. Look, I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but he just made it easy. Okay, if he had with something like that, then my argument probably would have been a little different because I wouldn't have been able to bring up the fact of how they did my man toward the end of it. I would have had to stick to the fact of the matter.
I will give you. Well,
but
the one thing we will agree on.
All I need. So
the one thing we will agree on is that I will tell you that for my money, Star Wars is not Harrison's best work, or my favorite for that matter. It is not. No. Now, spoiler alert for me. What did win last night?
Indiana Jones.
Y'all bugging.
No, we ain't.
No,
we ain't.
Because the Fugitive is the quintessential Harrison Ford movie. Period. Point blank. I got you, man. I got you, man. Yes. Come on, bro. That's my movie, dog.
Honestly, if it wasn't for The Fugitive showing that Star Wars was mortal, I don't think I'd have been able to pull it out with Indiana Jones winning. But The Fugitive, it played a good role. Okay, it was that spear that got thrown at Xerxes that hit my man and made him bleed. It was like somebody tagged that and put The Fugitive going across his face. That's what it was in Star Wars. And then after that, I was able to whip it in shape with Indiana Jones and bring it home for the people. Honestly, man. I don't think if I didn't choose the angle of how they took out Han Solo, that's another thing too. I think because a lot of people weren't thinking of it that way. And when I brought that up, they was like, well, damn, that's almost like Indiana Jones finding Han Solo trapped in carbonite all over again. It's just over. It's over.
And I appreciate that, Felicity. If you was fighting that good fight, man, I appreciate that, lady, man.
She did try. She did try. I even had to call out her and Nikki tell people to like squelch them for a second. They was trying hard.
I'm just saying, man, like I'm The Fugitive is my movie, man. And that's my Harrison Ford. You can keep your Indiana Jones. You can even keep your Han Solo as long as I get The Fugitive. Come on, man. Like, oh my God.
So I gotta ask you then, because this was another question that came up on Debate 8. So if Tommy Lee Jones was in Star Wars, like what character could he play? If either one has already been and you could recast or a new character, who would Tommy Lee Jones play? Because I saw somebody in the chat say Cad Bane.
No, I got it already. It didn't even take me that long to come up with it.
I want to know.
Grand Moff Tarkin. Tommy Lee Jones would have been a hell of a Tarkin. He would have been a hell of a Grand Moff Tarkin. That would have been great.
I think Star Wars would be completely different if they had a character played by Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh man, it would have been some. It's a whole. You know what it is? It's the same kind of. That's the same. I get the same vibe thinking about that as I did when I first heard that Samuel L. Jackson was going to be in Star Wars. I was like, what? You mean he's going to be in a movie and not be able to say mother?
Right.
Like, what? What?
Exactly. That kind of what drew me to it as well. After when I heard he was being in, I was like, really? Like, I'm so used to seeing him.
I gotta see this like now.
It's kind of like how people felt when they heard Arnold Schwarzenegger was going to be in Batman and Robin, and then they were severely disappointed when he wasn't like, I'll be back. It's like, it's not the same damn movie.
No,
but still,
I cried when I heard about that because I knew damn well. I'm like, he can't be no and then Mr. Freeze of all people. That's who you get him to be. He couldn't have been Bane. Like, it would have made more sense to make him Bane.
Way more sense. Yes.
Oh yeah,
I don't. I don't know. I was confused. That's why it's the worst Batman movie to me. But
yes,
yeah.
But yes, and yes, Justin Simone, U.S. Marshals is just as good. Just as good.
Yeah.
U.S.
Right. That was part of the argument.
Both of those, man, look. I'm just telling you. If you don't know about The Fugitive, you sleeping. You sleeping.
Trying to tell you. But I think we got a couple more supers that came.
Yeah, let's get them supers, man. Let's get them supers.
We even had one from the homegirl Felicity once more with the $5 holla. She said, Ahmed Best stated that the issues he went through were due to the media, not the fans. And you may have missed my previous super chat, fellas. I don't know. We read your last one.
I could have sworn we did.
Could have sworn we did too. The $10 holla. Oh, you know what? We may have said it, but I don't think I got to read it. Now that I think about it, because I don't remember saying the tag. You know what I'm
Got
saying?
you. Yes.
With the $10 Hollywood, she said, "I so appreciate you guys always calling my name. I hope you got yours. Love spending time in the after dark, and you know that I won't be at the watch party because grown folks got jobs. Stay blurty, my friends."
You know,
Yes.
she say that so much, I'm starting to feel like she Tommy and Martin. You ain't got no job.
Right. What's your job? What do you do? What do you do, Felicity? He always had a different excuse.
Exactly. Yeah.
And never did he say like
I'm
that
telling
show
you,
went
man.
off with us not knowing what he did for a living.
I'm telling
There's
you,
so
man.
many different it's speculated that like every episode, like he was fired from the previous job and he got a new
Got a new
job,
one.
but he always had enough money to do anything he wanted to do.
Yes, that part.
And would just skip off.
I used to think
Every
he was a
time he
street
was asked.
pharmacist.
I like actually that was like the number one thing that people say he was either street pharmacist or pimp.
Yep, one of the
Like-
other. One of the other, man.
One of the two.
One of the other.
That's pretty much what they said. So my bad, Felicity. We got you.
Yeah,
with your
we
$15 all the
apologize.
way
We
together.
apologize.
Yeah, most definitely. And then we had Matthew K come through with the $2. Thank you. Said, would Anakin have turned back if Padme lived? Well,
Ooh, I don't know. To be honest with you, I would have to. I guess I would have to say yes, because when you think about what kind of drove him to that point, if he was able to, rescue her or stop her from dying, but then the question is, would that have been enough? Because he may have stopped that instance, but who's to say he wouldn't have, let that paranoia consume him at some point later on in life? So I want to say he would have turned, but then he might have just been a flip flopper, because my man would have just been like maybe teeter tottering between light and dark his whole damn life. I think that's it. I don't know. I feel like Anakin was destined to go dark. Like it had to be that way. And so I'm a flip flop and say, nah, he still wouldn't have come back, because it was his destiny. He had to go to the dark side in order to bring balance to the Force. It was a part of the prophecy. And if you think about it, the only way he would have been able to reach the moment he did in that scene with Luke and Palpatine is had he gone through all of that. Without that journey, he would not have realized in that instance how important it was for him to make that turn at the last minute. So, I'm gonna say my man still would have gone dark. He wouldn't have turned back.
yeah, because he's bipolar. Pretty clear.
Straight up.
Anakin's bipolar.
And I will tell you this, I wish they would have played a little more into that with what some of the original concept art was showing with The Force Awakens, with this idea of a Force ghost that kind of Anakin that kind of teeter-tottered back and forth. Like, that would have been crazy. That would have, even if it would have turned out to all have been a sham or something like that, like it was Palpatine all along on some Agatha type shit, but it still would have been dope to see that concept on the big screen. I would have liked it.
Yeah, I agree. Most definitely.
Mhm.
And then we got Cashton coming through with the $1.99. It said bologna is just for hot dogs. It's just hot dogs for people who like pancakes. Excuse me. Bologna is just hot dogs for people who like pancakes. I don't like bologna, but I do like pancakes. So I can't say I resonate with that.
Yeah, I don't
I'm not
know.
down with the bologna.
Because you
Not
don't
down
have
with
to you don't have
malarkey.
to smush fry a pancake.
Mm-mm.
No, you just put the pancake in
Not
there,
at all.
it's spread, it cooked, and everything else. Bologna, you got to either smush fry it, or you got to put them little slits in it so that it don't bubble up in the middle.
I don't know about none of that. See,
Oh, well,
see,
there-
look, I
there's
don't
your
know.
there's your struggle meal lesson for this week, folks.
Hey, that's my. I will starve before I eat bologna meal. I do not eat. I can't do it, man. Cannot do it. I caught myself eating a hot dog today, and I did not tell y'all I hate hot dogs.
Hey man, what's wrong
I
with
ate
you?
a hot dog.
What's
Today.
wrong with you, man?
I only like them when I go to the movies. This last time I had a
well,
hot
put it
dog.
this way: the only time I eat a hot dog, it's got to be all beef. Miss me with that
All
chicken, pork, turkey combination,
not that.
mystery meat surprise type. Nah, give me
Taco meat.
yeah,
surprise,
give me
no.
that all
Mm-mm.
beef, and a little bit of chili, cheese, and onions, and we could talk.
Have some ketchup.
No,
I don't like mustard. I put
no.
mustard on it.
It's got to be mustard,
relish.
man. No ketchup. But
Oh,
you know
I
what?
like
I can
ketchup.
respect ketchup. You know what I can't respect on a hot dog? Mayonnaise.
Oh no! Whoa!
Mayonnaise. Yeah, man. I had a cousin. Matter of fact, it's her birthday today. Happy birthday, cousin Jessie.
Happy birthday!
Hope you're doing it big. But yeah, man, like she was a mayonnaise addict back in the day, and it was just like I like mayonnaise too, but like on a hot dog, bro, I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
I don't know about that either, man.
Yeah, man.
Not show.
I'm also they was also down with that like sugar and butter in they white rice. I can't do that either. Like I don't do sugar rice. Sugar and butter, bro. Like that's like one of them deep south things apparently, but I didn't know that gene missed me because I can't do sugar in my rice. I can't.
The most I've ever done on that kind of consistency was rice pudding.
Yeah, see, I don't like rice pudding for that reason. It's like, no, it's rice. It's supposed to be eaten with like some other dish or something. Like, it's supposed to have some. I'm not supposed to be just rice. Supposed to be just rice, not sugar. Like, no, man. I just feel my blood sugar rising. And I mean, I ain't talking about like a little sprinkle dab. I see people, they go in there with the measuring cup, got a cup of rice, but a half a cup of sugar on top of it. I'm like, dang.
Rice with a half a cup of sugar on top of it.
It's crazy. It's just crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. Ooh. Did we get this from Caleb, though? Did we get Caleb Hudson?
He is right after OG fan with the $2 saying Harrison Ford wanted Han to die in Empire Strikes Back. Same story.
I did not know. So that's when I did not know.
See, he was trying to get out of it.
He just wasn't. I don't think my man was just feeling Star Wars on that level. I don't think that was for him. I think It's
because he couldn't crash any planes or anything. You notice my man is always circulating around characters that's on a plane, crashing the plane. Like, look, he had Air Force One, he on a plane. Then he had 6 days and 7 nights. Crashed from a plane. Almost every other Indiana Jones movie, he's either jumping out of a plane or crashing a plane. He likes things with planes in it. You put my man in a starship and you don't let him crash it, he got a problem with that.
Well, I mean,
apparently.
I guess, yeah, he never really did crash the Falcon.
Nope, never did crash the Falcon. He lost the Falcon.
Yeah, he did crash it. I mean, he never crashed it.
So
true that.
They told him, he was like, I get to crash this thing. Are you hear about letting me crash the Falcon? It was like, no.
Like, no, sir, we can't do that. We don't do that here. We cannot.
We don't do that here.
No, sir. At all.
He was not down.
It was like, here in Star Wars, we take our Millennium Falcon very, very seriously. You like the way I did that, huh? Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
That was perfect. That was perfect. I almost can't see the $4.99 for Caleb Hudson. So love y'all boys, man. Y'all real, and that's why we mess with y'all. Never lose that as far as this channel grows. 100. Bless up. Hey, facts. Man. That will never change.
I don't care. We could have 5 million people watching us at one time, and I'm going to still be talking about fried bologna sandwiches and hot dogs with mayonnaise being nasty. I don't care. But hold up. I see something in the chat, and we might have to, this might be another 15 minutes. My man Justice Simone just said Raising Cane's is greater than Chick-fil-A.
I saw that.
What? Now look, Cane's ain't bad. Matter of fact, Cane's is on point. But it ain't touching Chick-fil-A though. It ain't touching Chick-fil-A. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry. Chick-fil-A got the better sauce, and they got the better strips, and they got grilled options.
Polynesian sauce. That
Polynesian sauce, is the truth, but that Chick-fil-A sauce though, sleeping on it you are.
Sauce is dope. It is
dope. This sauce is more. I must have.
Fillet a chick. We must go.
Lit. It makes this chicken taste. Oh, that might be a skit, man. Yoda reviewing fast food restaurants.
Remind me later. I had another one that I thought would be hilarious. And it's kind of in line with this whole judge thing too. That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh man. Cashton came through with $1.99. He said, "Wait, I think you missed my second super chat. I don't know." And then $1.99 came back again and said, "I don't even remember what it was, to be honest."
Oh man.
I've been trying to pick these up as soon as we see them. I don't know. See if you got a receipt for it. If you got receipts, then we'll read your deets. I don't know. I couldn't make that one rhyme.
That's all
I
good.
don't know what to tell you, but we tried, man. We doing what we can.
We're doing what we can.
We can't miss Crest's $20.
No, because this is a damn good question.
Yes, he said. Well, you want to read it because it's directed towards you. So
I will do so. He says, my man Crest says, Al, do you use ketchup when eating fried chicken? My former coworker from Texas said that ketchup and fried chicken is a no-no in the South. I will tell you this. When I was a child, I would dip my chicken in ketchup because my parents would force me to eat dark meat, which I did not like. So to drown out that flavor, I would dip it in ketchup. As I got older, I realized how blasphemous that was, and it changed from ketchup to cream gravy. So I will tell you that here in Texas, ketchup is cream gravy. There is no substitution. You do not pass go. You do not collect $200 if you don't got cream gravy. I don't know what you're doing. With the exception of two people. That's Cane's and that's Chick-fil-A. Because they don't need cream gravy. That chicken's so good. But anywhere else?
You know what they really need. You know what they really need.
I do know what they need. I know exactly what they need.
Yeah.
They need that sauce. Because if you ain't got that sauce, then that's your loss. We try to tell you all the time.
Yes.
You're going to learn. You're going to learn.
No, I'm going to have to try that. You said what kind of gravy?
Cream gravy. Oh, man. You don't know nothing about that cream gravy?
Oh. Northerner, man.
So, wait. Time out, y'all. Hold on. Cut the music. Have you never had a chicken fried steak?
Yeah.
Okay. And
so if you're talking about,
what kind of gravy is on your chicken fried steak? Because our friendship might end tonight.
Actually, I don't eat it with any gravy.
Okay,
I'm not a fan of gravy.
That is fair. If you had told me,
the only time I eat gravy is Thanksgiving time, and it goes with my stuffing. Otherwise, I just eat the steak. I will
allow it. If you had told me that you put brown gravy on chicken fried steak, I would have got up off this set and left.
No,
with the stream still live.
He said,
"There is no way in hell, my guy, my brother from another mother, can defile a chicken fried steak with brown damn gravy."
No. Okay, yeah. Now I usually get it without the gravy, and
boy,
this is something I will say. This is something I'll probably say. I'll probably get me crucified. But so many people love biscuits and gravy and the white gravy and all that. I can't get down with. I can't do it.
Oh, you just ain't had.
I've had homemade recipes. I've had from restaurant recipes. You can name a recipe. I can't. I can't do it. I don't know what it is about white gravy. Just can't.
Country, like I said, country gravy. Some people call it black pepper gravy. Call it cream gravy, white gravy. As long as it's got that flavor and that texture. Man, look, you got to. I'm gonna change your mind about it, man. I'm gonna change your mind about it. I'm gonna convert you.
You keep sending me them pictures. One of them, I'm gonna find a way to Doctor Who the hell out of that and come through the picture and watch. You're gonna be like, look at this picture of these 18 slices, and you're gonna take it. You're gonna look back, and it's gonna be like 5 left. You're gonna be trying to figure out how the hell that happened.
Can I tell you that, like, I'm gonna mess around and I'm gonna have to be juggling after dark and my den time with cooking. Cause I got people like now left and right trying to hit me up talking about they need me to smoke them some briskets. Not a brisket. Some briskets.
That's what I'm like, bro. What you do is we gotta talk to the homie then and get you a cooking show so you could be able to do Den of Nerds and the briskets at the same time.
That part, guy.
That part.
You ain't lying.
And you'll be cooking that part.
Mm-hmm. Main gang savory surprise. What we got this week?
Ooh.
Look.
Damn.
I'm trying to tell you, man.
Served with a side of sauce and purple drink.
That's it. That's the perfect combination to complement any meal. Right there.
Snazz it up.
Snazz it up.
What we do.
That's it, man.
With purple drink. And you ain't got to worry about your wife looking like she about to beat your ass.
Bruh. Oh man. So somebody talking about brisket burn-ins. Boy, you don't know nothing about it. But real quick before we get out of here, we wanted to do something a little bit different, man. You know, we always want to show love to all of the Nerd Venture community, but a special amount of love to our Diamond members, Diamond level members. They be in here. They were in here from day one, almost like Nerd Vengers assemble, and they was already like, "What you talking about? We been here. You ain't got a symbol. We been here. What you talking about?"
Nope.
So I popped over into the Discord, which, by the way, if you are not a part of the Discord, what the hell are you doing with your life? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And we got a Diamond Lounge in the Discord specifically for our Diamond level members. So I popped in today and I was like, all right, Diamond level members, I want y'all to hit us with a couple of questions. It don't matter what exactly those questions are, as long as they are able to be read on air. And we will answer them to the best of our ability. And so we did get one. We got one. One person knows how to follow instructions. T-Rev, the homie, Diamond level member Trev says, who can bench more, Al or Lavis? That is a very interesting question, considering my big ass ain't touched the weight since the last time I lifted a steak. Just keeping it a buck, man. Health is. I gotta tone up a little bit, man. It's been a minute, but I mean, I'm sure if you put a couple of pictures of Kathleen Kennedy and Ryan Johnson on them on that barbell, I'd be able to get it up there. I look 200, 300, 400. It just depends on how agitated I am that day.
All you gotta do is say sequel trilogy. Set them out.
Oh man, that's it. Then all of a sudden veins start popping out and I'm max repping. Doing it.
Turn my man to the Incredible Crunk.
Yeah, Put it in the books. Put it in the books. Yeah, man. But that's what it is, man. I definitely want to get I don't just want to. I need to, get in a little bit of nerve engine shape. Because once we start hitting these cons, man, I can't just be out here looking like nothing, I'm all busted and pudgy. I gotta be right to a certain degree, I'll never be a small guy. I'm from Texas, man. We don't do small. No extra medium here. But if I could tone up, put a little bit of definition on it a little bit, we be in business, man. Like I'm telling you, I could be. I'll be Thor. I can do Thor all day. I'll be fat Thor all day, and then we can whip me into shape.
Blur.
There you go. Are you here about the bootleg cable?
You should hear about the bootlegs.
I got 3 for $5.
So it really don't want to be slapping with sauce, like literally. You know what? What did Al Sauce say to the face?
Oh man. Like, I got that sequel trilogy, but ain't no Luke in it at all. I cut this all. It's a special edition. We ain't got no Luke, nothing.
Oh man, I couldn't even imagine what that would be like.
Oh man, yeah, you can. He wasn't in it but 5 minutes any damn way. He was in the second movie, and you never saw this until the very end of it's not that hard. You ain't missing much. Thanks, Ryan Johnson.
Facts. This is true.
Yeah, man.
True. We did get a couple more supers.
What we got?
Come back with the $4.99 and say he remembered now. Said, don't worry about it, bro. But he said, where the my Lavis emojis at, man? I'm working on it, man. I hear these streets working on the changes.
Yeah, we stay working on the changes, man. But some of them changes take time. You just take time. That's all. It does
take time.
Plus, you got to coordinate with the moderator, and you know how y'all get along or don't. So left up to him. You be waiting.
Avoid that.
You be waiting on the eternity for them. Messing with him.
I'm gonna take my own shots and just drop them off at the door and just walk away. Knock and just dip.
As soon as you dip,
right there on the door,
you're gonna look, kick him off the door.
Shit's See what I'm saying? See, you know what? Then that's probably why you ain't got him, Cashton. Okay,
more than likely, but you didn't hear that from me. I'm just here to keep the peace.
Most def.
Oh,
then we had OG fan come through with the $2 and said, "I will watch a show with Al smoking brisket any day. Smoke brisket any day."
Hey, hey, man! Look, I'm with it. I am with it. Oh man!
Hell yeah! Most definitely, man. Well, what you feeling, man? What you feeling? You want to go a couple more minutes,
man. We take it to 10 after the hour.
10 after the hour.
Depending
not the bottom of the hour, not the.
No, we're not gonna go to the bottom of the hour. No, not the bottom. We'd already passed the top of the hour. Oh, Brian,
from the bottom now we're here.
Yeah, exactly. And the whole team with us.
Brian Stone talk about.
Brian Stone said Noob Master 69 is on here again.
Oh man.
Well,
I need Noob Master 69 to troll Josh on the morning stream.
Exactly.
I will probably I will come out of lurking for that.
There you go.
Totally come out of lurking. If he's like Noob Master 69 says, I'll totally be ready to put something in the chat.
Yes.
After he's done reading that.
I will co-sign everything that Noob Master 69 sends him. I will be like, Josh, you gonna take that? I'll be there gassing it up. Josh, you gonna let him talk to you like that on the street, right?
Right.
Oh, you can't do that, man. No. It's not the way we get down over here.
And when we unmask who that is, it's gonna turn out to be Whitney.
Exactly. All day. Oreo crumbs just falling out like, y'all said it.
Right.
Oh man.
I called her out on debate 82 talking about she eating the Oreo in the back like
right. She gonna rip the mask up like it was Whitney. And she's like, I would have got away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling nerd vendors.
Yes.
Oh man. That part right there. Oh man.
Definitely. But you know what?
What's up?
You know what? I hear that Whitney's a very smart girl. And I hear that her Oreos are actually very special. She actually gets them off the Oreo black market.
Oh,
I wasn't supposed to be putting that out there, but there's one specific reason why she's able to get away with that.
How?
She's getting away with it because she's got the VPN with Surfshark.
That's exactly how you do that.
Yes, everybody knows you got to go in there and get that Surfshark deal, man, and use that code /nerds, and you go ahead and get that 83% off, and you can get it for 3 extra months for free.
That's
Just saying.
That way,
smart.
When you make your underground Oreo purchases, you ain't got to worry about them people all in your business.
All up in your business.
Nabisco ain't got to know what you're doing. No.
Nabisco can go to hell after that.
Exactly. That's precisely where they can go. We ain't got time for all that.
Be a smart shark and get Surfshark. Use that code, nerds. Matter of fact, I'll even do you guys one little salt head. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pop that link in there. Use it. Use it. Do it. Do it. That's actually like one of my favorite. Is that my favorite Star Wars GIF? I be hitting that. I said to my boss.
That's funny.
I sent my boss a Palpatine GIF earlier because he was asking what location to open one of my employees up to, and I was like, all of them. I want you to open it to all of them. I don't think he got it, but he still got a laugh out of it. So
that's what's up. Well, on that note, I think it is about that time. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here. My man, Lavis.
Man, Al, always a pleasure.
It is certainly that, sir. And yes, sir. I suppose we shall catch you, good folks, in the next episode. And there's your boy again messing it all up.
Oh, man.
There's your boy again. He's just messing it all up. I don't understand why he can never get it right. It don't make no sense. I just don't get it. It shouldn't be that hard. It should not be that hard, but it is. It just
it has its moments.
Just
Apparently, it has its moments.
Roll the damn credits, Chet.
Just roll, man.
God, why?
What's Chet even doing here tonight? Anyway,
I don't know, man. Where's Wallace? I don't know. I don't know. It's just blowing everything up. I don't understand why we always got to have these issues. Why this man don't ever get his stuff together?
It happens.
Yeah, but it happens too much.
I think Cashin might have something to take your mind off. He wants to know who we got. We got Money Mayweather or Jake Paul.
Oh man, look. If Money Mayweather don't knock that man head off his shoulders, I'm gonna be upset. But I'm gonna tell you this: it won't happen in the first fight because that's gonna be a trilogy. I don't care what nobody say. They gonna maximize that money. Somehow, Jake Paul will win by a split decision, so they can have a rematch, and then Floyd gonna wear his ass out. Then they'll have the rubber match, and the next thing you know, we all back to square one. So this is how these things go.
With nothing to talk about in boxing.
Yeah, pretty much. That part, what you just said.
Disappointment.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike Oz, why don't you share some of that nerd coin, man?
I'm saying, can I get a loan?
Try to tell you.
Balls out of control over here.
With all that nerd coin, I'm hearing there's a possibility that Mike Oz might be able to actually get some percentage off if he orders on Amazon.
Right. Well, that was late as hell.
Oh my!
I mean, like just random out of nowhere. Chet, you drinking again, man? You got to be drinking again, man. And you still now you just randomly just gonna keep doing it? Is that what are you trolling me right now? Are you trolling me? And you got like little bells in the background. What is this? What are you doing, Chet? And then you're gonna go super loud with it, Chet. Like, what is the deal, bro? Get it together, guy. What is Chet? Are you looking at me crazy, bro? Say, Lavish, you better get your homeboy, man. I ain't finna be standing here, sitting here, or being here, period. And Chet looking at me with that look like that, man.
My homeboy.
You better get your dude. You better get him. You better get your dude. Look
Last I checked, Chet was here. Chet was here long before I came in. Okay. Matter of fact, I heard Chet came in the middle of you being in here. So I won't even.
Chet,
you do something about that.
You better sit your $5 ass down before I make change. I ain't playing with you, man.
I need some quarters too. Quarters.
I'm trying to tell you.
Catch the gif.
But just because you be in the Discord holding it down, banning people and muting people all crazy, don't think you coming over here with that, because I will bust your head to the white meat. Play with me if you want to, Chet. Oh,
Chet.
I think Chet let the dogs out too. Look, Chet, I don't care about your pit bulls, Chet. You know what, man?
I pay homage to DMX because he be out here in them streets. You know what Chet be doing when he be out